This is a video about how to put 3-point seat belts in a Studebaker Coupe. The same body style used from 53 to 61, the post coupe. I didn't make any video at the time, but this is from pictures that I made at the time. This is from inside in the back seat. This is the door, front door, and this was the window frame for the little coupe window. So the first thing you have to do is drill a hole through here to make clearance for your nut, and your clearance for this bolt that goes through there. And you got to be careful when you're drilling, not to, especially the first hole, when you start pushing, not to punch through and put a dent in the outside, because that's the outside of your body there. You don't want to make a dent. And you want this like a couple inches higher than your shoulder. Okay, when you're making a metal bracket here that's going to hold a nut that this screw will bolt into, you have to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the molding piece that covers this window, the dress-up piece. So you got to make sure it doesn't interfere with that. This will be covered by a piece of cardboard that's covered with vinyl, like your headliner. This is the metal bracket I made. This is about 1/8 inch thick metal. This is a 7/16 coarse nut, which is the correct thread, welded on there. And that will be used to reinforce that post. This is the piece of metal that I used to make that bracket, cutting it off across there. This was on an 87 Cutlass Sierra. GM used that body style for Buick and Chevy, Pontiac also. And that was behind the bumper, and just take those off and it pops off. Okay, here I am holding it up in place to trial fit it. The flat part goes against that part of the post, and this is part of the post here. This part here is part of the door. That opens and closes, so it welds onto this little piece here. And then the curved part goes down here, and that made it pretty much flat across there. And then welding down here to strengthen it. Okay, this is the piece on the other side of the car. The flat part is here, and the curved part is coming down there. And you see I've tack welded it in here, tacked it here, and then welded it there. I'm going to weld it down here to finish it up. You can get these bolts at a wrecking yard. You need a Torx 50 tool to fit in there. Probably at least a 3/8 drive with a long handle, because they're usually in there pretty tight. Got to have this shoulder on it, maybe not quite that long. And also you want to make sure, test when you screw this in, is clearance, and it's not going to hit the outside and bend the metal. Okay, here's the finished product with the retractor, the upper bolt. Down there was the only place I used the shoulder bolt from the junkyard. The company supplied the other bolts. This one, the retractor bolts are down here, and you have to make a reinforce the sheet metal behind there, and the nut has to be flush, so you don't want the nut sticking out. It has to be flush, so this will fit flat on here. And up here the company supplies the shoulder bolt that fits there, so that can swivel. And I got these from a company called GEM products. I'm sure other companies also supply these 3-point belts.